On the way, the weather changed. Wind and rain buffeted Edward. His sanding gear failed, and his fireman rode in front, dropping sand on the rails by hand. Suddenly, Edward's wheels slipped fiercely. With a shrieking crack, something broke. The crew inspected the damage. Repairs took some time. "One of your crank pins broke, Edward," said his driver. "We've taken your side rods off. Now you're like an old-fashioned engine. Can you get these people home? They must start back tonight." "I'll try, sir," promised Edward. Edward puffed and pulled his hardest, but his wheels kept slipping and he could not start the heavy train. The passengers were anxious. Driver, fireman and guard went along the train, making adjustments between the coaches. "We've loosened the couplings, Edward. Now you can pick your coaches up one by one, just as you do with trucks." "That will be much easier," said Edward. "Come on," he puffed, and moved cautiously forward. The first coach moving helped to start the second, and the second helped the third. "I've done it! I've done it!" puffed Edward. "Steady, boy," warned his driver. "Well done, boy. You've got them! You've got them!" And he listened happily to Edward's steady beat as he forged slowly but surely ahead. At last, battered, weary, but unbeaten, Edward steamed in. Henry was waiting for the visitors with the special train. "Peep, peep!" The fat controller angrily pointed to the clock, but excited passengers cheered and thanked Edward, his driver and fireman.
¡Terrence! ¡Regresa! ¡Regresa! ¡El hielo se rompe!
¡Tranquilo! ¡Ya casi estoy del otro lado! ¡Oh, no!
¡Terrence!
¡Thomas! ¡Thomas! ¡Rápido! ¡Trae ayuda!
¡Eso tardará mucho! ¡Traigan cadenas! ¡Trataré de sacarlo!
¡Ayuda!
¡Apártense! ¡Apártense! ¡Se hunde!
¡No! ¡Thomas! ¡Eso es, Thomas! ¡Eso es! ¡Sigue tirando, Thomas! ¡Ya casi lo logras! ¡Lo siento, árbol! ¡Lo siento!
Well, I did want to wait for the good clean coal to arrive, but if you can keep on puffing, Hiro, maybe I can keep on puffing too.
So Hiro and Henry set off to the smelter's yard. Hiro and Henry collected the flatbeds loaded with heavy iron girders. Hiro pulled and Henry pushed.
These are very heavy flatbeds, Hiro.
Keep puffing, Henry. We must get to the docks before the ship leaves.
Henry and Hiro puffed and chuffed. But now, Henry's firebox started to make some strange noises too.
My firebox is making lots of noise, Hiro. Maybe we should go and see if the new coal has arrived yet.
No, Henry. We don't have time. The ship leaves at 4.
As Hiro and Henry puffed up Gordon's hill, there was a very strange noise. But it wasn't Henry that stopped puffing. It was Hiro.
Hiro, why have you stopped?
My firebox is blocked. I've broken down. I'm sorry, Henry. You were right. We should have tried to get the new coal. Now we will never get to the docks on time.
Don't worry, Hiro. You taught me to keep on puffing. So that is what I'm going to do.
Henry puffed as hard as he could, and slowly they started to move up the hill. Henry was pushing all the flatbeds, and Hiro as well.
Well done, Henry! Keep on puffing!
Henry clunked and clanked, and clattered and rattled. His wheels were wobbly and his axles ached, but he kept on puffing. The dockworkers cheered for Henry when they saw him shunting Hiro and the flatbed. Then the Fat Controller came to see the engines.
The next day, Bertie and the medal winner arrived with a surprise for Thomas. A small boy presented him with a gold medal on a red ribbon. You were very helpful at Sports Day. So we thought you should have a medal of your own, added the boy. My very own medal, said Thomas. Thank you. 3 cheers for Thomas, the #1 engine. But I still won the race, tooted Bertie. Thomas just peeped happily.
Thomas is a tank engine who lives at a big station on the island of Sodor. He's a cheeky little engine with 6 small wheels, a short stumpy funnel, a short stumpy boiler and a short stumpy dome. He's a fussy little engine too, always pulling coaches about ready for the big engines to take on long journeys. And when trains come in, he pulls the empty coaches away so that the big engines can go and rest. Thomas thinks no engine works as hard as he does. He loves playing tricks on them, including Gordon, the biggest and proudest engine of all. Thomas likes whistling rudely at him. Wake up, lazy bones, why don't you work hard like me?
He's busy lugging rocks, Isla. But don't worry, I can go. I don't know if I can make it through the storm.
It's too dangerous, Thomas! We should turn back too!
No, Aubrey! We've got to keep going! The townsfolk need us!
Must keep going. We're almost there. Phew. We made it. The cyclone must have blown over.
No, Thomas! We're just in the eye of the storm!
The storm has an eye?
The eye means the center of the storm, where it's calm for just a few minutes.
What? Oh, no!
We've got to go quickly, Thomas!
But I don't know if I'm strong enough to get through the storm again.
You can do it, Thomas!
You're right! If I'm strong enough to get into the cyclone, then I'm strong enough to get out of it. Blast my bumpers! There's a tree on the tracks!
We'll never make it back to
Well done, Dr. Tomo.
I was on my way back down the line again when I noticed something worrying up ahead. That campfire looks pretty big. Oh! Fizzling fireboxes! Ranger Jill! There's a bushfire spreading through the rainforest!
Oh, thank goodness you're here, Thomas. We need to get to safety down on the coast.
Are the animals going to be okay?
Most of them will be able to get out of the forest, all right.
But what about the koalas? They're so slow.
We'll pick them up along the way.
Wait! Where's the koala with the little white beard? I saw him this morning at the water station.
Oh, that's Banjo. He's not here.
Oh no, poor Banjo. I'll find him.
Be careful, Thomas. It could be dangerous.
Banjo! Banjo! Oh, the water station. I'm coming, Banjo! There he is! Oh, I don't want to blow my whistle and scare him off. Oh, I know. Grab that branch. Come on, little Banjo. This way. You can do it. Now let's get you to safety.
Thomas! Banjo! I'm so glad you're both okay. And good news, I've just heard that the firefighters have the bushfire under control.
Well done.
The dam's breaking up. We must find high ground, shouted Toby's driver. Your only chance is to cross the bridge, called Percy. It doesn't look safe to me, wailed Toby. It's our only chance, said his driver. If the dam breaks, we'll be done for. Toby was halfway across the bridge when disaster struck. Help! Called Toby. We'll follow him on our line. It meets the river further down. As Toby floated helplessly on the floodwaters, they passed a sign that made them shudder. Beware the waterfall. If we go over that waterfall, we're doomed. Then they saw Harold, who swooped low and shouted urgently to them. We're going to drop a rope to you. Attach it to yourself, quickly now. And they did, to one of Toby's buffers. Just then, Percy arrived. Harold flew over to him. Catch the rope and pull Toby to safety, he called. Toby was safe at last.
Faster and faster. He realized that he had no driver. What shall I do? I can't stop! Help! Help! We're coming! We're coming! Called Edward. Edward was panting up behind with every ounce of steam he had. At last he caught up with James. Steady, Edward, called his driver. The inspector stood on Edward's front, holding a noose of rope in the crook of the shunter's pole. He was trying to slip it over James's buffer. The engine swayed and lurched. At last! Got him! He shouted. He pulled the noose tight. Gently braking, Edward's driver checked the engine's speed, and James's fireman scrambled across and took control. So the old iron caught you after all, chuckled Edward. I am sorry, whispered James. Thank you for saving me. You were splendid, Edward. That's all right, replied Edward.
Clarabelle were glad when Percy arrived. He was just in time. The rain streamed down Percy's boiler. Ugh! He shivered and thought of his nice dry shed. Percy struggled on past coastal villages and into the countryside. The river was rising fast. I wish I could see, complained Percy as he battled against the rain. More trouble lay ahead. Hissed Percy, the water is sloshing my fire. The water lapped Percy's wheels. Percy was losing steam again, but he plunged bravely on. I promised, he panted. I promised. He made one more big effort, and at last, exhausted but triumphant, he brought the train home. Well done, Percy, cheered Thomas. You kept your promise, despite everything. Sir Topham had arrived in Harrow. First he thanked the men, then Percy.